Good evening, gorgeous, beautiful souls. So happy to be on the podcast show again, to have you all listening. So, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it, and I'm very humbly grateful for it. So, yes, really tapping into the priestess energy and really feeling like I said, the gratefulness. I don't know if that's a word for everything that's actually manifesting in my physical reality right now. Very beautiful. And yes, I have a special episode for you today. It's actually an episode that came to me a couple of days ago. I don't know, I have all these intuitive hits at the moment, and I'm just like following up on them, like in divine timing. So, yesterday I sent out this beautiful email to my email list about an all access pass that came from an intuitive hit, and I don't know, it's so beautiful then to witness how I can actually help the women who are at that point in their life, like really waiting for that specific thing. It's so beautiful. I'm loving it. I'm loving all of it. So, okay, the special episode that I have for you today is about how you can actually manifest or call in. Let's skip the word manifesting. How to call in your one, like 4 steps. I'm sorry. 4 steps you can take right away to call in your one big desire into the physical reality in just 6 weeks. And like I said, the episode already came to me in this weekend. And you know by now that usually I don't write out my podcast episodes, or I never make freebies anymore around my episodes. But this time it was so specific. They said, like, they showed me those 4 steps and they showed me this freebie, and I was like sort of contemplating about how to regrow my email list again, because I used to have like a huge email list. I had about 8,000 people on my email list. I narrowed it down to around 2,000 women right now, and I feel like there's just now this really beautiful space to allow in new women on the list. So I was sort of contemplating, hello, about, okay, how am I gonna attract in these beautiful women in a very soul aligned way, and really, like, how can I do it in a way that really resonates with their soul, right? With that priestess energy. So that was sort of in the back of my mind, and then all of a sudden they showed me. They were like, you do this episode, you create this freebie, you create a reel for Instagram, and then you link in the reel to the freebie, and that's how you actually also get new, like, international clients signing up for your email list. I'm like, that's brilliant. Let's see where this is going to take us. So this is like a new experiment, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm like, yes, I'm really liking the flow of this. So I created the freebie this afternoon when my mom was babysitting my daughter, which was amazing, because while I was doing my work, she was like taking her first actual steps without anyone holding her hand. She did that already this weekend with my husband when I was doing laundry, but now she was like, oh, both of my parents aren't here. Let's take like 11 steps instead of one. And I was like, oh my goodness. But luckily for us, we have cameras all over the house. So my husband actually recorded it, and we could see it in the on the recording. So that was really fun, because I heard my mom say, after my daughter took those steps, I heard my mom say, well, your mommy and daddy just missed that. And then my husband said through the camera, because for some reason he was just checking in, like, I witnessed that. I saw her take those 11 steps. It was so funny. But anyway, it was amazing that my mom was babysitting my daughter, or our daughter, because I just like could really create this freebie and then set everything up in my mailing system. And those are the kind of things, like recording something with her with me, like right now, that's not a problem. And like catering to my beautiful soul aligned clients with her with me is not a problem either. but doing those things on a computer, that's kind of complicated with a baby around. So, yeah, that felt really, really good. So I set everything up, and now we're just gonna see what's gonna happen. And I'm just hoping that it resonates with you and that you'll find it enjoyable. Let's put it that way. Okay, so the 4 steps you can do right away to start calling in your one big desire into physical reality in the upcoming 6 weeks. Okay, here we go. Step one. Step one is actually setting the timeline, right? So by now, if you have been listening to me for a while, you know I work in these 6 weeks portals. I work in 6 weeks portals because you can really you can skip the timelines in whatever amount of time you want, right? And 6 weeks is just the amount of time that really feels soul aligned to me. And I explained a little about that, about the law of Parkinson, in a previous episode, so you can go back to that. But I'll get back to that also a little bit in this episode as well. But you want to first, just. Oh my goodness, that scared me. That was a dog. Oh, wow. Okay, that one scared me. Okay, back to the subject. You want to first you want to decide on the timeline, not on the actual time. So let go of the time, because you might be in your head like, okay, Sophie's asking me, so what can I change in 6 weeks? No, 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 no. I'm not asking you what you can change in 6 weeks. I really just want you to sit down and envision your highest timeline. And I want you just to ask spirit and ask your spirit guides to show you, what is the vision? What do I want to call in? What is my higher timeline? What am I desiring? That's the question you want to ask. So you don't want to answer this question from your mind, but you want to ask it from your intuition. You want you want to put it out there and then just let the words come to you. So that's also how I usually work with my clients. I just ask them questions, and I just ask them in the moment, what is coming up for you? What is spirit showing you? And let that be the one thing. Let decide on it. Be like, okay, that's my desire, right? So maybe you got this vision of a beautiful dream home, or maybe you got this vision of, I don't know, a beautiful revenue, or maybe you got a vision about a beautiful pregnancy. It doesn't matter what it is, just decide on the desired timeline, okay? So why is this important? Your desire already exists at your highest timeline. So, like I've explained before, this is not about calling anything into your reality. It's about making you the match for your new timeline. So, in this episode and in the 6 weeks portals, where I actually take you through these steps a little bit more in depth, of course, you really, really look into what is still sort of holding you on your current timeline, because you want to let go of the baggage. So if you are interested in how to actually phrase the one big desire, how you want to write it out, then you can go to the freebie I have created. I'll put the link in the show notes, and you can go to that link, and then I have it a little bit more explained in depth how you can actually write it down, right? But decide on a timeline, write it out, preferably in Google style, and then you can go to the next step. Okay, so step 2 is very, very powerful, because step 2 is writing down 3 to 5 people who are actually currently keeping you energetically stuck at your current timeline. So I hear a lot of women speaking about, I don't know if the right word in English is blockage, but in Dutch they say blokkade. And a lot of women feel like there is this enormous, gigantic rock in front of their goal, right? And they're like, there's something wrong with me, and there's a reason why I'm not manifesting the thing that I'm desiring, and they feel stuck. And I can promise you, I have felt that way a lot of the time as well. Like, just that feeling that you're like, oh my God, whatever I do, it's not working. Something is wrong here. I apologize for all the background noise. I hope it's not disturbing you. I'm gonna sort of replay it a little bit if I get home and like see if it's very bad. But I hear cars and there are people around me, but I hear noises like very loud, so maybe it's not that bad on the recording. And if it is, then I might have to redo this episode because this is kind of like an important one because it's linked to the freebie. But I'll just decide when I hear it. Those airplanes, oh my God, if you live here, it's horrible. But everyone is thinking they have a blockage, right? But you do not have a blockage. There's no rock on your road. That's not the case. There is no rock. There is no obstruction keeping you from traveling to your next level timeline. There is only the fact that you're not yet an energetic match, and that there might be some people who are like not deliberately most of the time, sometimes, but like not from a bad place, holding you on your current timeline. So I just want you to again just listen to the question and write down 3 to 5 people who are keeping you energetically stuck at your current timeline, and just write out whoever comes up for you. Okay? So, step 3 is a very interesting one as well. So, I'm going to ask you a question again, and again, I want you to write it down for yourself. So, the question is, what let me phrase it in the right way. Oh, yeah. What regrets are you currently still carrying with you? So, this can be anything, right? This can be like a regret around an investment you have made, or a regret about, I don't know, about something you did with your partner, or I don't know, it can be anything. We tend to think that we're like, because we're also spiritual evolved, we know from a spiritual place that everything serves its purpose, right? So we tend to think like, yeah, I'm not bothered by this because I know it all serves its purpose. And yes, that's true. And like I said, in our 6 weeks portal, we dive deeper into this stuff. But it's very important to admit to yourself that there are, on a 3D level, regrets in your energy. So write them down. Write down whatever comes through for you. Write down what you are currently regretting. This exercise is so powerful, and this is one of like the transformative moments in my 6 weeks portal. Whenever we do this, it's like, wow, something just shifts, right? It's amazing. And write it down. And then I want to take you to the final step, or at least it's the it's not the final step because I have a bonus step, but it's the final step of the 4. So the 4th step is really, and in our 6 weeks portal we do this a little bit different, because then of course we decide upfront how long it's going to take you to go on your desire into reality. But I want you to decide for yourself what time frame you are gonna allow yourself to call this into your physical reality, right? What time frame or duration are you gonna use up for this, right? So you can totally decide on 6 months, but then you'll know that you probably won't manifest it until the last day of the 6th month. So my vision is always, why think of 6 months or even 6 years? Why not just do it in 6 weeks? So decide that for yourself. Look into the law of Parkinson again. Like I said in the freebie, I also give a description of what the law of Parkinson is. And then really write down for yourself, like, yes, I am committed, if you feel that at least, to call this into your physical reality in just 6 weeks. Okay? So as you know by now, the priestess energy is a very, I don't know how to explain that. The priestess just knows, right? She trusts. She remembers. She remembers the ease of moving into new realities because she has experienced it all before. She remembers, she knows. and we get a little beautiful extra confirmation on that from my amazing daughter. So the priestess just knows. She's like, yes, fuck yes, I can do this. Oh my God, this is not even about I can do this. It's about just having this deep remembrance of that it is already done. It's already there at your highest timeline, and it's just a matter of letting yourself move to that highest timeline. Okay, like I said, I have a final bonus step for you. And that final bonus step is described in the freebie as well. And it's a very powerful one. It's actually, baby, it's actually a step that I normally only do with my clients, right? Because then we work privately. But I felt this call to put it in there. No, like either way, because I feel like by doing that final step, you're really letting the universe know and your guides know, okay, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to set it all in motion. So the last step is really about like not only like writing it down, but then like energetically activating it, which takes us like to the first phase of the 6 weeks portal, which is always the activating the fire stage. So if you want to activate the fire, go to the final step of of, of this process, which I written down in the freebie. Just know that you are perfectly safe. You are amazing. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And just know that really anything is possible. And this can be the beginning of all of that. So trust yourself. Trust that when you take that final step, that your guides will show you what the next aligned step is for you. And just always trust that inner knowing. If you feel guided to something, trust it. If you feel guided away from something, trust it. This is not about you having to do it in a certain way after you have gone through this process. It's about just letting the universe know this is what I'm ready to release. This is what I'm calling into my physical reality. This is a timeline I want to get to. And by doing step 5, you're really letting the universe know, okay, I'm energetically ready for this. And then just let it go. Let the universe and your guides show you this is the next aligned step. And then always use your gut feeling and your intuition to feel into it and feel, is this like a sacral hell yes for me? Or doesn't it feel like a hell yes? If it feels like a hell yes, whatever the universe is showing you, then trust it. And if it does not, then trust that that's the right answer for the moment. Okay? I hope that this episode really helps you, like that it really resonates with you on a soul level, that you can feel the energy of it, the emotion of it. And yeah, I'm just really excited for everything that this episode is gonna set in motion, because I know it will set a lot of things in motion, and they are beautiful things. Really, they are beautiful things. And I'm just like I was having a smile on my face. I'm like, yes, this is so epic, this is so cool, this is so beautiful, and everything is unfolding in the most perfect and aligned way. So forever grateful. And if you feel like, okay, I want to take that step 5, then you can download the freebie. It gets sent to your email, and yeah, then just take it from there. Okay? Have an amazing evening or whenever you hear this, and we'll talk soon on the next episode. Ciao.